The definition of independent events is that if one event occurs, the probability of the other event is unaffected. For example, if I flip a coin and I roll a dice, what does rolling a dice have to do with flipping a coin? It doesn't matter if I flip heads or tails on the coin, the probability of rolling a 5 on the die is still 1/6. It doesn't change. So whatever the two events are, they are not really related at all. It's just if one happens, it doesn't affect the other thing happening. So the probability would remain the same. So if event A is flipping a head on the first toss of the coin, how does that affect the probability of the second toss of the coin? And it doesn't. Each toss is independent. So if I toss a coin and I get heads, and I toss the coin again and I get heads again, and I toss the coin again and I get heads again, and I get heads and I get heads and I get heads, and I get heads 10 times in a row, I'm going to flip the coin an 11th time. What's the probability that I get heads? And the probability is still 1/2. Even though I just flipped a head a bunch of times, doesn't matter. Each flip of the coin is independent. So when I'm looking for whether or not the events are independent or not, for coin tosses, if it's the same toss, those are not independent. If I flip a coin and I get heads, I cannot get tails on the first toss. It's either heads or tails, can't be both. However, what's the probability when I get heads on the first toss and tails on the second toss? It's 1/2 for the first toss and 1/2 for the second toss. They are independent, each flip. If I wash my car, how does that affect whether or not it's going to rain? Those are independent events. Even though people like to say it rained because I washed my car, that's a fallacy. No, it didn't. My washing my car has no effect on the weather. So the weather and washing my car are two independent events. Now if I ate dinner and then whether or not I'm going to be hungry later, those probably are related. I might be hungry later even though I ate dinner, but if I didn't eat dinner, I probably for sure would be hungry later, so the probability would be different. So those are not independent events. If my first child is a girl and my second child being a boy, those are independent. Even if I have 5 girls, my 6th child being a boy or girl is independent of my first 5 children. I still have a 50-50 chance of a boy or a girl on the next child. And that's independent events.